Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Let's play episode 171. We are finishing up the last parts on our rocket here, and there are a few little changes I want to make as we prepare for liftoff. Number one, I want to get our cooling system back online for our liquid oxygen. Oxygen will, as a liquid, will freeze at, what is it, negative 218, something around there. So we're just going to say negative 202 is the activation point. And then we're going to copy settings to these as well. So that should get these running again and chilling out this hydrogen that we have, and then chilling out this large body of oxygen. We want to get this extra cold because we're going to be exposing it to something that isn't as cold. Even though it's going to be insulated a lot here, we want to get this stuff nice and cold. That way we don't have any sort of pipe breakage as we pump it into the system. It'll loop, so it's not going to remain sitting in these pipes. But that is one thing we want to keep in mind. We want to have these things be extra cold if possible. Okay. Next, over here, we probably want to start pumping out some of this. We'll make this out of steel, too. I have just so much steel. I want to use it all up. We want to probably start producing some petroleum to fuel our rocket. It's not really going to matter what temperature it's at, but the important part is that we start generating some fuel. Whoops. We can go ahead and get rid of this apparatus that we have up here and start putting in some power. I probably should be moving away from coal at this point, but we're not going to be playing this run for that much longer, so there's like a lot of things that we should do. We should have an air filtration system, we should be moving to our next power source, but the main thing I want to accomplish is seeing how well this cooling system that we have works. We also need to put in our gantry up here. Does this work now? Yes. Okay. Make this a really high priority. I don't want a lot of gases leaking out. I want a decent amount of carbon dioxide in here. That way when this rocket launches, it'll just intermingle with that carbon dioxide that we've sent out. This should be on auto, not lock. Thought we changed that. Either way. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get this nice and cold. Not so cold that it freezes the oxygen, but cold enough that it'll survive its trip and not turn into gas either. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to set up more coal. I shouldn't, but again, just because we're not playing this this save that much longer. Let's go ahead and 2 of these are actually enough. They're just enough. So let's just go with 2. Power, smart battery, gold is fine with me. Conductive wire, gold, connect up like this, and then automation wire, gold, connect across like this. Was there anything else I wanted to tweak? We have shut off this for now. So we have a lot of water that's going to just absorb the heat, and we've shut off our water supply. So we see our water supply running down over here. We still have our bathrooms supplied because they're on a priority line. But this stuff will start emptying after this is done emptying. This is all capped off at this point. We are out of our buffer here. So I suppose it's time to say that yeah, alright. We're going to switch this to if it's above, I don't know, 5. This one can be if it's above 0. And then this one will be activating most of the time. That way we have more water pumping out into this oil well, producing more oil. Right, we're just kind of balancing our buffer here. This isn't running at peak efficiency because we just don't have enough heat load for it to cool down. We could be cooling down more things, but we'd rather just have the oil well run than get the absolute maximum cooling. I guess I also want to clear out this area. That's probably something we're never going to do. Like, it'd be nice to have this be our oil source. This is where we have our tons of slicksters and our CO2 coming down. We want to get this thing dug out, but we don't really care enough for now. We will enable this back up. I guess we need to do something with this area that we have over here if we want that to work. Yeah, that's a little awkward. I don't know what to do about that. Not that important. I think we're set. I think we have everything. Oxygen is doing fine. After turning our oxygen back on, we kind of got all our oxygen back fairly quickly. Still have a little bit of area over here that we want to expand into, but for the most part, this is all kind of done. We just need to turn our oxygen back on. We had it off for like 200 cycles, 300 cycles. I don't know. We turned it off a long time ago because we just had so much of it. Okay. Cool. This is sealed off. Build our gantry. Yeah. All right. We're about ready to launch here. We're going to build this door. All right. We are going to start pumping out. Let's say activate if above 70. We'll set these to a relatively high priority. All right. Nice. And basically we will pump out this oil. It will turn into petroleum. And then we will pump the petroleum into the rocket. Ooh, that's one other thing to do. We don't need to fill up entirely these things. Just a second. Okay. So if we want to make a trip to... If we want to make a trip to the second closest asteroids, we want this to be at 426 apiece. I think that's correct. I might actually might need less liquid oxidizer. The old survey rocket too, huh? All right. So this has some crude oil pumped into it now. They're going to start operating this. This will heat up this area a little bit. We get our petroleum in here. This petroleum actually cools down because it is produced at 75 degrees and is cooling down to 60 degrees. None of these are active. New printables available. What do we got? Diver's lungs. Great. Gossman, welcome to the team. Okay. This is running. This is cooling down. Yeah. Alright. So, these are heating. We're going to go ahead and say pump out if 65. We're going to tell this one pump out if above 50 degrees. Activate if above 50 degrees. Alright. And so then our petroleum should start going into our liquid fuel tank. And then we want to start filling up our liquid oxidizer tank. I could also add a shut-off valve somewhere here. That might be useful. Just to reduce thermal communication between these. I can see that as relevant. Alright, working smoothly. How's the temperature in here? It'll get a little bit hotter, but we also have this gas reservoir here. So one, we could add more cooling, but two, this should by itself provide some cooling for us. $90, $10, okay. We also want to make sure that our gantry is powered and that it has automation. 1200 watts, that's fine. Let's go ahead and say power, conductive wire, again, just using up our steel, like so. And then we want some sort of automation. What is this atmos sensor connected to? This atmos sensor controls the doors. Okay. Let's go ahead and say deconstruct this. And we will say automation, atmos sensor, sure, more steel. And then we will connect up automation wire, like so. Is this all correct? This is connected to the right spot. Perfect. This wire isn't really needed. Okay. Let's also go ahead and dig out our future site over here. We're not that far off from launching. Is this still locked? Someone go and toggle that at some point here. Interesting. Huh. Oh, I see what's happening. We have an automation wire going through this door. That's why it's locked. Okay. Well, we can fix that. Let's just go ahead and say deconstruct along here. And instead, we will say automation wire along here. We'll cancel that. That's why this door is locking. We have an automation wire closing it. Okay. This is also awkward that these are sending... Wait. Activate if above 10,000. Okay. At least I understand what's happening, even if I don't understand why. So, this is filled up. We're going to go ahead and tell this to wait until you're like at 200 degrees. The big test is going to be how our system holds up against the heat. Will parts suffer damage? If so, how much, how often? Do we need more CO2 in here? Right, there are a lot of questions. Maybe let's crank up the cooling just a little bit. Yeah, I think we'll crank up the cooling just a little bit. Negative 31. Negative 32. Oh, come on. Oops. Negative 33. Negative 34. And so on and so forth. Just get a little bit extra out of it. I still don't want to really condense the CO2 yet, because I think I want it in the air. Okay, so can we finally change this to auto? There's no automation signal going to it now. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to clear out this, and I think we're going to load Stinky in. Let's see. Show star map. Yeah, we're going to go to this metallic asteroid. That's going to be our target. I think we can start pumping in liquid oxygen. Yeah, let's go ahead and start pumping in liquid oxygen and see if that system works. So, plumbing. Insulated liquid pipe. Ceramic. Hook this up. Priority 7 on this. Start getting that fueled. This doesn't connect to anything at this point. Another meteor shower. That was quick. Have we delivered an Atmos suit? Set this to be a higher priority as well. I've got Atmos suits right here. Put one in my rocket, please. And let's also go ahead and say that this stuff is a decently high priority. Priority 8 on this stuff as well. Clear out our silo. Commander Stinky, I think it's time to put you in here. Probably will not take long for this to fill up. Yeah, we suffered some damage here, because we didn't make this out of insulated pipe. So this is broken at this point, which means this is just sitting here, which is really not what we want to have happen. Let's go ahead and see if we can't pop a guy in here real quick to change this to insulated pipe. Some people might suffer some freezing, but I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, insulated liquid pipe would be better here. Just until... Let's just try this part right now. Yeah. And let's say priority 8 on this. Let's try and get this built really quick. I don't know how cold is too cold. I've honestly seen duplicants running around in like negative 30 degrees. Negative 70 is a little bit more extreme. Popped eardrums. Sure. Here we go. Oh, they're repairing? Not quite what we want to do. When they exhale, it creates liquid on the ground. That's not so good. Yeah. Let's just insulate all of it. I can see this is already going to be a problem. Once we have this system running for a while, it's not going to be as big of a deal. But for now, Since we kind of are trying to hurry things up and not letting these things reach thermal equilibrium naturally. This is the way we're going to do it. Go and grab some ceramic. Come back. Fix our system here. How are we doing up here? Pretty much clear. Another meteor shower already. It's a lot of meteor showers. Yep, replace all these pipes. Anybody getting hypothermia? It's when they exhale and they produce a little CO2. The CO2 then condenses, and then that's what's getting them. That's fine. A little hypothermia never hurt anybody. I mean, that isn't strictly true, I suppose, but, you know, in theory, this isn't the worst thing to happen to them. I've done worse things. Suck it up, guys. It's fine. Alright. Built this out of the proper material this time. How we doing? Getting this all built. Are we good? Okay. Yeah, time to just close this up. Seal it back up, please. Priority 9 on these. You don't need to be picking up this stuff. Yeah, close it up. Gossman. No. We're done picking up that stuff. All of you are done picking up that stuff. Let's slow this down. Yeah, get out of there. We good? Okay, cool. Bump the speed back up. Little hypothermia is fine. You're fine. Okay. So, launch path blocked. Yep, because we have this thing closed. Let's do a launch now. And let's see. Actually, you know what? I'll cut the episode here. And in the next one, we will do a launch and see how well our cooling system holds up. If anything gets damaged, if anything needs repair, then it's probably not so good. Also, probably shouldn't have this here. I'd rather get rid of any regolith that's sitting up there. Yeah, alright. I'm going to cut things here. I'm going to come back, we'll launch our rocket and test our system. And then that's pretty much going to be the end of the series. We might do a couple more rocket tests to see how well the system holds up, and also to get a little bit more data on how well our petroleum cooker is doing, right? Because it's supposed to be a slow process, so we'll see kind of how quickly it works with one tile exposure to magma, and then we can kind of linearly extrapolate to see how well it would perform with more tiles. But anyways, cutting things here. Catch you guys next time.